Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maze Madman. You know the deal. Before we get started, smash that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you are aware every time we upload a video. Make sure to drop a comment in the comment section. It's been a rough 2 days for me. I initially created a video right after the game. I scrapped that one because it was emotional. This time I've given myself a couple days to process what happened, and it's still disrespectful. TCU, who I can't even disrespect them anymore and call them Texas Christian University, as God was clearly on their side along with the referees, but that's neither here nor there. TCU wins the 2022 Fiesta Bowl, beating the number 2 ranked previously undefeated Michigan Wolverines in the process, 51-45. I'm upset. Just get ready for the disrespect. I'm gonna tell them why I'm mad. I'm mad because yes, Michigan shot themselves in the foot several times during the Fiesta Bowl. Yes, Michigan missed out on opportunities that they should have taken advantage of. Yes, there was some bad play calling. Let's call it what it is at times during the Fiesta Bowl. However, the referees were atrocious in this football game. I want to make a point that it wasn't just in favor of TCU. Michigan also benefited from a call or two, including the roughing the passer on JJ, which was nothing. However, the most egregious calls in this game, the touchdown that should have been to Roman Wilson, and the obvious targeting call, and I get it, that would have been a bailout call to save Michigan. The point is, though, it happened. It happened. I understand people don't want to see games decided by calls, especially at the end of the game. But that one was egregious. It was clear and apparent. And somehow they went to review in 4K, by the way. Like, I'm watching the game in 4K. I'm sure people across the country watching the game in 4K. There were thousands of fans in attendance watching the game. Crystal clear, right? In 4K, they decided that was not a targeting call when everyone with eyes could see that it was. But I digress. Because as I said, Michigan fumbled away an opportunity on the goal line. Michigan called some ridiculous trick play on 4th down inside the 5-yard line, right? JJ McCarthy, let's call it what it is. He threw a terrible first pick six. That was a terrible, terrible decision, and an even worse pass with a defender underneath the out receiver. And then the second pick six, he never took his eyes off who he was intending to throw the ball to, and they intercepted it and took it back to the house. That's some of the bad stuff. Obviously, JJ McCarthy played a phenomenal game outside of that. I don't want to take anything away from JJ, because if not for JJ, this thing would have been very ugly. Because he was a major part, maybe the biggest catalyst in getting us back into the game. Let's go to the beginning, though. We start the game off with the 54-yard rush by Donovan Edwards. It looks like, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be a piece of cake. Michigan's gonna run all over this 3-3-5 defense. And to TCU's credit, that defense proved to be tougher to run against than originally expected. However, I do think Michigan abandoned the idea of the run, especially down in the red zone, way too fast. The traditional run I'm speaking of, because we did try some things like giving it to Mullins on the half-yard line that was fumbled away. Again, that he never got control of the ball. I understand that. It was a bad exchange, whatever. It shouldn't have been the call anyway. Turn around, give the ball to Donovan Edwards. Let's get 6. Or, heck, TCU kept running a play that we obviously couldn't stop to get them a yard or two, with the quarterback sneak and a tight end pushing the quarterback forward. Why didn't we do that? But I digress. I know I'm mad. It is the Maze Madman show, but I want to be objective as well. All right, let's get to the stats. J.J. McCarthy, by all intents and purposes, had his best game as a Wolverine. 20 of 34, other than those 2 pick sixes. Okay, but anyway, 20 of 34, 343 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and then the 2 interceptions that I've spoken about. He also, on the ground, 10 rushes, 52 yards, and a touchdown. J.J. McCarthy is a man. He is the future of Michigan football. We all understand that. We get it. Could J.J. McCarthy have played better? Of course he could have. Could the entire team have played better? Of course they could have. We're going to get to that in a second. Donovan Edwards, 23 carries, 119 yards, 5.2 yards per carry. Now, granted, a lot of that was because of the first play of the game when he rushed for 54 yards right out the gate. However, he still needed to get the football, whatever. Roman Wilson had himself a game, his best game since early in the season, maybe his best game of the season. 5 receptions, 104 yards, plus a touchdown. That was a receiving touchdown. He also had a rushing touchdown on the end around that was, it evoked memories of John Elway in the Super Bowl, right? The helicopter hit. Cool. Ronnie Bell also had his best game of the season, in my opinion. 6 receptions, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Ronnie Bell was phenomenal. Cornelius Johnson, only 2 catches, 30 yards. He was a little silent in this one. Luke Schoonmaker went out early in this game, never returned. There's that. Colston Loveland had an opportunity early in this game. It would have been a tough catch, but it's a catch he could have made, and he didn't. I'm not going to hold it against him, though. 4 catches, 36 yards. This isn't the issue, right? Michigan had 342 yards of passing offense. It's abnormal, but it was great. It was great to see, especially because we were in a position where we got down multiple scores and JJ had to drop back and pass the ball, and he proved that he can do that. He also proved that he can use his feet. We already knew that, though. Now let's go to the other side of the ball. Max Duggan was held under 50% in his completion percentage, 14 for 29, 225 yards. One of them was a big 76-yarder that was like a 3-yard pass that turned into 76 to Quentin Johnston. He also threw for 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, his interceptions didn't come back for points. In fact, I'm not even sure if we got the field goal off of one of those interceptions because it was a long pass to Ronnie Bell that ended up being called down at the 1. And anyway, we ended up with 3 points. Or no, we fumbled that one away. I'm sorry. Look at me making mistakes. We fumbled that one away, I'm pretty sure. Right? No, I'm getting it all mixed up. It's just a jumble. Okay, he throws an interception at the TCU 49, by the way. The refs messed this up. This is another ref mess up. When the ball is spotted, it's at the Michigan 49. JJ throws a dart down the field to Roman Wilson, who catches it, bobbles it at like the half-yard line, doesn't fully have the football until he's in the end zone. Somehow, though, they said he was down. It should have been a touchdown, but they wipe it away. Michigan turns around, hands the ball off to Mullins on the next play, fumble in the end zone, TCU recovers. We don't get any points. It was upsetting. I know I'm rambling, I'm running through this thing, but it was upsetting. I know you guys can understand the shock, the awe, and I don't want to take away because this turned out to be a very exciting football game. Michigan was down 18 points multiple times. They were even down as much as 19 points. The score was 41-22 at one point and kept fighting back. The team never gave up. I want to give them credit for that. this team 143 fought all year, including against Illinois, right? And never gave up. And in this Fiesta Bowl, some of the same. Now, let's get to it. That Joe Moore award-winning offensive line did not play like the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line for the second year in a row in the first round of the college football playoff. I don't know what the problem is. I do know this. The best center in college football this year didn't play like the best center in college football. Olu Oluwatimi was out there whiffing left and right. It was not a great look, and it could be because of that 3-3-5 defense. There's three down linemen. Obviously, the second level is 3 linebackers. They're coming. You don't know when they're coming. There were a lot of late blitzes that were getting home. I understand it. However, I expect the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line to do better than they did. Speaking of the defenders for TCU, D. Winters was a wrecker, a game wrecker all night. In addition, Dylan Horton, game wrecker, 4 sacks for Mr. Horton. It was pretty disgusting what they were able to do to the Michigan offense at times during this game. On the flip side, Michigan, Rod Moore, Makari Page, both played terrific football games. Mike Sanders still played a terrific football game. DJ Turner. Okay? I didn't want to single players out, but DJ Turner could have made a tackle on Quentin Johnston on that 76-yard touchdown pass. That would have been huge. Michigan was down 3 points, I believe, at the time. If they get that score, they get the ball back with the chance. If they get that stop, they get the ball back with the chance to tie or take the lead for the first time in that football game. We all know what happened next. He did not make the stop, and Mr. Johnston took it 76 yards to the house. Let's go really quickly over the 5 keys. In my last video, I went over 5 keys to victory, right? I want to go over those really fast and tell you what Michigan was able to do and not able to do. And pretty much it's not going to be great. But anyway, let's start. Number 1, Donovan Edwards was my first key to victory. Obviously, Michigan controlling the game clock and the game with the run game and that Joe Moore award-winning offensive line. However, it didn't happen like that. Donovan Edwards went over 100 yards, but largely because he had a 54-yard rush to start the game. So I'm going to give them an indifferent score on that. All right, whatever's in the middle. Let's give them a C on Donovan Edwards being a key. Key number 2, controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides. We're going to give them a fat F for this. Offensive line did not control the line of scrimmage. I will say they gave JJ some time to throw the ball at times. Other times they did not. So an F. And it's not just the offensive line, it's the defensive line as well. We did not produce the pressure that we were hoping to produce without blitzes. So F for controlling the line of scrimmage. Don't give up big plays. Do I even need to go over this one? F. 76-yard touchdown pass, 69-yard touchdown run. It seemed like they were getting clutch first downs when they needed. F. Bottom line. Contain Max Duggan. Do you think we did that? I mean, he did complete under 50% of his passes. He threw 2 touchdowns. He also threw 2 interceptions. He ran for another 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say we didn't complete the objective. F. Take shots. I will give Michigan credit for this one. This is the only one I'm going to give Michigan a high grade on. They did, when they had the opportunities, they took shots down the field and they created big plays of their own. I know after the game, Coach Harbaugh had the quote where he said, 1 less big play for them, 1 more big play for us, 1 less mistake for us, 1 more mistake for them. All that is true. I will give that. TCU did enough to win the game. I think they shocked us initially with how well they defended the run, and then it was all downhill from there, especially in that first half. They dominated the game really in the first half. We were lucky to go into halftime down 21-6, even though we should have put some points on the board. So I'm going to leave that alone. Let's move on to another pressing issue. It's the first of the year. Season is over for Michigan, so you know what time it is. Jim Harbaugh being linked to NFL coaching jobs. The Athletic says it's all but a done deal. If Jim is offered a head coaching position, that he will take it, which would be in direct conflict with what Jim said less than a month ago, with he will be enthusiastically coaching the Michigan Wolverines in 2023. Obviously, if he takes a head coaching job, he would be made to be a liar. Do I believe that Michigan is in danger of losing Jim Harbaugh this offseason? I'm going to say no. I know The Athletic is a dependable form of media. They aren't the only ones reporting rumors of Jim Harbaugh leaving for the NFL. I am going to trust Jim Harbaugh's word, and I believe that he will be returning next season. That's one thing. Number two, Deuce Spurlock, freshman linebacker for the University of Michigan, has entered the transfer portal. If you ask me if this will be a trend, I will hope not. However, there were a lot of freshmen who were expecting to get more playing time that did not get that playing time. I'm not going to completely be shocked if more players enter the portal from Michigan. I would be elated if it was not the case, however. Okay, let's talk a little about moving forward. Obviously, most important thing is getting Jim Harbaugh back next season. Whatever the University of Michigan has to do to lock in Jim long term, do it. Listen to me. Do it. Jim Harbaugh has, and I know this is also a big hit against Mr. Harbaugh or Coach Harbaugh. He is 1-6 now in bowl games. Michigan historically has a losing record in bowl games. We need to get that. We need to right that ship. All right. 1-6 in bowl games is not a great record. We all know that. We all also know Jim was 0-5, right, against the other state at one point. He turned that around. I am confident that he can turn this bowl record around. I am confident because I'm confident he can turn this around. Another important factor is the impact on recruiting. These rumors do not help Jim Harbaugh and Michigan in the recruiting efforts. The rumors of him leaving for the NFL. Obviously, Michigan getting to the doorstep again in the college football playoff, being one of the 4 finalists in the college football playoff, help Michigan, sure, but losing to TCU does not. That is just a fact. I'm not going to keep going on this video. I've already crossed the 17-minute mark, and I want to thank everyone for venting with me a little bit here. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Leave your comments in the comment section. What do you disagree with what I said? Do you agree with anything I said? Leave all that in the comment section. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope everyone's new year was brought in safely and joyously. Expect more content this week, including a way too early preview of next season. Until next time, though, I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen,